Well, we wrote to them last week and we offered these 3 days, today, tomorrow and Wednesday, to have meaningful negotiations to try and avoid the need for a dispute. We was also contacted by the Isle of Man Industrial Relations Officer, and she offered to facilitate those talks, and would we be happy with that? And I said yes. She went as well as us writing to the Isle of Man Post Office, she went to speak to them as well. And they have said to us that there's no point having talks until after Tynwald has debated and made decisions on Tuesday, which is hugely concerning and extremely strange to me, because they are issues, the 2 main issues, the closure of the pension scheme and the moving the service from a 6-day letter delivery to a 5, are both issues that are right in the centre of these negotiations.
So would you want these withdrawn from the Tynwald agenda while this situation is with us?
Yes, I mean the whole approach, to be honest with you, as in my opinion, has been done wrong. Clearly we're at a stage, we're at a crossroads about the future of the Isle of Man Post Office. We understand that. There's challenges facing all postal organisation, the changing dynamics of letters and parcels, the need, if you want to protect that universal service, the 6 days as it stands at the moment, then you need to develop other new revenue generating products, innovation within the industry. Now, we've been in conversations as so Tynwald actually since about 2012, 2013 on those issues, and there's been debates about corporatisation and how you free up the Isle of Man Post Office to get involved in those sort of things without going through all the different rigours of government. Now we've always supported that on the basis of maintaining our people's standard of living, employment security and retirement security. We see the sense in doing that. As a union, we're involved in that with Royal Mail in the UK, in Guernsey, Jersey, Jersey. It's the same conversations that are going on anywhere. But we're fully involved in that as the recognised trades union. This case, relationships that I've had, I've been representing people here for over 18 years. I've had good relationships with different boards, different CEOs of the Isle of Man Post Office. What happened here, there was a clean sweep. There was a new board, totally new board put in place, a new CEO, a new finance director, and then suddenly they went off on their own and worked up a plan which they say is their vision for the future, presumably worked up with people in government, and then that's just been put to us as if it's fait accompli.
As a union, though, would you be prepared to make what appears from the outside to need to be major moves to give the post office a future in view of the challenges it faces?
Yes, we're up for the conversation about modernising.
But you're going to have to give way quite a bit, aren't you, on certain issues?
You say that, John, you say that, but you'd have to understand where we are. So take the pension scheme, which is a huge issue because that's a huge cost to everybody. Our pension scheme is fully funded. We made negotiated change to that in 2009. In advance, I'd have to say, of the other public sector pensions where there's been lots of problems. That has sustained us to date. That scheme is still fully funded, but it needs, because of what the contributions required going forward, because how the accountants and that's been evaluated, there needs to be bigger contributions. Well, we had a memorandum of understanding in 2009 that set a framework for those sort of discussions, and we have also signalled that we're prepared to look at our members' contributions and benefits, but there is no need to close that pension scheme. That is a principled issue being made by the board and whoever's supporting it. There's no need for that. So, yes, we're fully prepared to negotiate on these key issues.
Is it a clash of personalities between yourself and the leading management and indeed the chairman of the post office?
Well, I don't know. We've had time much to develop personalities because they don't meet me. I've not spoke to them. And I think part of the problems as a negotiator now, and I've been in this industry for over 30 years, what amazes me on such a crucial issue about the future of the Isle of Man Post Office, with all the experience I have from the other postal organisations I represent as well that are facing similar challenges.
Have you had similar situations, say, in Jersey and Guernsey?
No.
What happened there?
No, but there's been changes there over the years, but they've all been negotiated change, and we're still negotiating with those people. And in fact, in Jersey, where they went from 6 to 5 days, they're now looking to put a 6-day back in because the dynamics have changed. They did that years ago. So yes, you got declining letters, but you got more parcels. people will want their parcels on a Saturday, and I would suggest going forward there'll be pressure to even deliver on a Sunday in some places. But the more parcels you deliver with a letter, the economies of scale make that far better for the business, which is what we found in the UK, which is why UK management are absolutely in agreement with us and supporting the 6-day USO.
At the moment, we've got Thursday and Friday action. What after that?
Well, then we have to reflect, and we have to see if there's going to be some meaningful talks, and if people change their mind at all, or otherwise the dispute continues, and then we'd have to consider what other alternative or what the next action would be.
Surely on the Saturday your staff will have to catch up with the backlog from the Thursday and Friday.
Well, they'll be back into work, but the business has been talking quite triumphantly about their contingency arrangements. So I'm assuming that our members
so you're challenging them. They'll say,
Saturday.
Show us what you've got.
No, not really.
In terms of contingency plans.
I think, I think people won't be happy with what we're doing. Our members don't want to take strike action. But if you're a voice in the wilderness and you need to protest about something, don't forget what we're doing is legal. This is our legal right to do what we're doing. We've been balloted legally. You do all these things with the hope that they will bring people to their senses and we'll have proper negotiation. But still at this stage, how it feels to us, the people we're negotiating with are not the decision makers and never have been. And that's becoming self-evident now by the fact that Tynwald is debating issues that are still in talks in these negotiations.
Are you saying the post office is having its strings pulled by Tynwald, in effect?
Well, I think the board and Tynwald, there's no question. I think the people we're not seeing, the faceless people that are making the decision, they're clearly walking the corridors of Tynwald. And
who are you talking about? Ministers, the Comin, who?
Well, I don't know what they're being told, but they certainly sound supportive of the post office board. So I don't know what they're being told, but I can only assume they're not getting the full story because we have not had the opportunity to put our side on all these different issues.